In Runescape, there are few achievements that stand above the rest. Players start on the same footing, from humble beginnings to challenges we never imagined possible. There comes a time in a player's journey where these prizes are too tempting to ignore. Only with skill, dedication, and determination can they be obtained. Today, one of those items is now mine. Welcome to Achieving the Impossible. Quick note is that this is not an in-depth guide. I'm just assuming you're familiar with the basics to 500s or interested in seeing how it was done. Now, I spent a lot of time messing with invocations and loadouts, so you don't have to. I'll briefly explain what I settled on and my reasoning. You just adjust as you prefer. Let's start with invocations. I'll have them posted in the description, or you can pause the video and take a look. The first thing worth noting is we're running dehydration with overly draining and no help needed. So we can't bring in any healing, we won't receive any from the helpful spirit, and our Karis will use 100% special attack unless combined with an adrenaline potion. Because we're running overly draining and don't have heals, we're going to turn off Ancient Haste and Acceleration. This will make Wardens incredibly easy, and you don't have to worry about the Obelisk DPS check. The last thing worth noting is that we're running the Double Trouble Feeling Special combination. This combo is worth 40 points. It's just too good to pass up in my opinion, but if you're not comfortable running this combo, you can definitely experiment and take one of them off. Moving on to the gear, the first thing we have to do is get a Karis Partisan of the Sun and bring a Light Bearer. Now I also bring the Arceus Spellbook with Death Charge to just give me as much special attack as possible. This is great for every single room, but especially in Akkha, which can be a bit of a wall, and at Wardens. In a budget run, range damage is your best friend. If you have full crystal and a Bofa, definitely bring that. But you can do this run with Armadyl armor and an ACB. You don't need the Masori and ZCB like I have here. You'll notice I have very few magic and melee switches. In a budget run, range is all you really care about, so I just bring the bare minimum for these other styles. Alright, starting with Zebak, we have every invocation turned on, but honestly this room is really free, you should get by no problem. The goal is to lazy flick and use as little restores as possible. I typically make it through only taking about 2 sips. One thing worth mentioning is there is these safe spots on the edge of the room where there's a 50% chance when the blood spawns that they won't detect you, just making it a little more relaxed. Moving on to Kephri, this room's really similar to Zebak where you shouldn't have very many issues with it. There is a bit of tech to learn, but in the end your goal is to only use about another 2 or 3 sips of restore before the room is over. If you get poisoned, you can sip your Sandfew and use the rest of your super combat in this room. If you need to heal, you can use the Karis passive and kill eggs with it. You should death charge on the eggs and on these minions. Make sure you drop the poop path in this corner here in order to separate the 2 scarabs. That way the melee won't hit you for as long at the same time as the ranger. This also allows you to set up for the ranged trap. The reason we trap the ranger in a budget setup is that it takes too long to kill the melee while it's trapped, and we don't want to let the meleeer heal Kephri itself. You can pause the video to see my tile markers, otherwise I'll have a paste bin that you can import into your rune light down in the description. Every invocation is turned on except for medic because medic is awful, but this room is free, you'll get through it no problem. For both claims from the helpful spirit, we're going to take power to get salts and adrenaline potions. These are going to be incredibly important for the rest of the run. Now for everyone's favorite room, we have Akkha. As you can see here, I'm doing a 5-tick butterfly method. There is 4-tick methods available, I just have not learned them, but I highly recommend you learn it if you're using a trident or a sang and you're struggling with this room like everyone does. This is easily the room I had the most resets in. Although butterfly is not necessary to complete a 500, you should really take the time to learn it. It's pretty satisfying to learn mechanics like this, and it's just going to make your life much easier at the cost of a little bit more skill and attention. Once again, I'll have my tile markers in the description down below. This is very similar to every tile marker you're going to see for butterfly. I do have one additional tile that you might be able to see there with the asterisks, and I'll explain the importance of that in just a moment. Now for the invocations, we have everything turned on except for keep back. Keep back isn't that difficult, but it does complicate the room just a little bit more, and it's only worth 10 points. Stay Vigilant is actually a great invocation. Now if Akkha's hitting you, he will randomly change attack styles. However, while you're butterflying, this means that Akkha's going to stay on melee phase unless he starts hitting you, or if he does a special attack. He will stay melee, allowing you to butterfly with no problem. The Double Trouble Feeling Special combo is definitely the hardest part about Akkha in my opinion, but it's not as hard as it seems. As you can see here, I keep moving 2 tiles at a time. Double Trouble Feeling Special means that every time Akkha does his memory special attack, you're going to spawn orbs underneath you and in front of you when you move. However, if you move an even number of tiles, or just 2 tiles at a time, you'll never get hit by your own orbs. Going back to this asterisk tile that I talked about before, the purpose of this one is to tile skip the DPS check while also being within a 2-tile distance of all the safe spots you want to be in. So here you can see I can just click straight to this icon and then straight to the corner, and I'm prepared for Double Trouble Feeling Special without having to think about how many tiles I'm actually moving. And then as soon as the special's done, I run right back to my asterisk tile here. Now you can DPS skip from almost anywhere on the edge of the ring, but again, the purpose for this one is to keep myself close to the center and give myself plenty of time to react to the combo. Now here you can see the DPS check. What I'm going to do is wait for the spear to turn blue, and then I just click 2 tiles and run right through the blast without taking any damage. Akkha does his special again, and I already know I'm a perfect 2-tile distance from where I need to be, allowing me to continue without being caught off guard or moving too slowly getting to the center. Finally, we have everyone's favorite part of their favorite room, come phase. Now, come phase is just one of those practice makes perfect type of things. In this run here for the 500, I actually made several mistakes, but I used a Kara spec before the phase, allowing me to get hit 4 times and not have to worry about dying. I recommend you try to either have above 99 HP before the phase begins, or have enough prayer and special attack to use your Karas. Now I'm using vertical camera, allowing me to get this really nice top-down view, which allows me to see the path of the orbs a little more clearly. You want to check your cardinal directions first and then your diagonals to make sure you're safe. If you're not entirely sure if where you're hitting Akkha is safe, just move to an area that looks safe and then come back to hit it when you know it is free. You can see how quickly this phase was over. I only got hit a few times. I've had 500s where I've taken 0 damage. And the last demi-boss, we have Baba. Now for Baba, you're going to start with a BGS and use the red X method. Again, this is totally possible without red X, but man is it difficult. Baba hits you constant 30s through prayer. If you haven't learned red X and you just think it's too punishing to try to learn, I promise you that's how I felt as well. But getting hit 1 or 2 times by the shockwave underneath Baba is still less punishing than getting hit constant 30s through protect melee. After your BGS, save all of your special attack energy to use a Karas in case of emergencies. You can flick your prayers here, but depending on your supplies and your comfort level, you certainly do not have to. When Baba gets close to 66 and 33% health remaining, you're going to want to keep a close eye and make sure you do not accidentally walk off the edge and fall into the gap, ruining your run that is so close to being finished. I personally do not skip the boulders here. I'll just get 1 or 2 shots off on Baba for free, as well as let my special attack energy recharge and kind of collect my nerves. The rest of this room is exactly the same, just keep setting up red X, keep a Karis on hand for emergencies, and you can just ignore all of the mechanics and walk under the boss and hit the monkey. Very easy. You've finally made it to Wardens, congratulations! Honestly, it's all easy going from here. Sip your adrenaline potion, use your BGS spec. If it hits, switch to your blowpipe. If it misses, use your crossbow. You really need your BGS to hit here. However, if it doesn't hit, you can't use a second one. You have to save your remaining special attack for your Karis. The only invocation that affects P1 is Ancient Haste, which we have turned off. This is because the orbs that come out will damage you for a total of 75 damage, which you don't want to have to tank more than once or maybe twice. Be sure to tank on the left side of the room to spawn the Zebak and Baba phantoms in the final fight. Starting P2, we have acceleration turned off. This means you'll take far less chip damage, and it's just way less likely that you'll get comboed out or caught off guard. The chip damage is most important since we're using a trident and a blowpipe, and it's going to be 4 downs with our melee setup and overly draining turned on. We want to avoid as much damage as we possibly can. Now, one of the tactics that I've recently learned but did not incorporate in this 500 is you can tank this Warden in melee distance, and through Protect Melee, it only maxes a 4 instead of a 10, meaning you'll take a lot less chip damage at the cost of having to be a little bit more careful with your positioning. As we approach the first down, get ready to do your melee switch and turn on Piety. You can also use Death Charge when you kill the core. This will help you get your special attack up and running much faster. You want to be as close as you can with all of your damage and make sure your final swing is with the BGS. Your goal is to get the Warden below 80% health on this first down. That will guarantee you get a 4 down instead of a 5 down with this setup. If at any point you need to heal, use your adrenaline first before using your Karis. As you're about to finish P2, you could sip your second to last adrenaline. Make sure you save 1 sip for Enrage phase. 1 right now is fine if you need to heal up with your Karis and you've got plenty of prayer. It also allows you to start the beginning of P3 with a BGS spec. Use this moment to collect your nerves and prepare for the final fight. I still have 1 salt dose, 1 adrenaline sip, and plenty of prayer to make it through this fight, but nothing's hitting me right now. There's no time limit. I can just use this to relax and preserve resources. Every invocation is turned on. The only one that is any level of difficulty, of course, is Insanity. This portion of P3 is just as easy as any other run. You have nothing to worry about. Just take it slow, focus on your movements, and focus on your prayers. One useful tip is to use your Karis passive on the skulls to get your HP above max. Now this does cost prayer, and prayer is a very valuable resource, but so is your special attack, so it's better to heal with the passive than it is to use special attacks when you don't need to. When the Wardens get below 5% HP, you will enter the Enrage phase. You are in the home stretch. All you have to do is dodge boulders and get your prayers right. Dodging the lightning isn't as hard as it looks. When you see a shadow that is at its climax, the largest that shadow will get, it is now safe to click on. By the time your character makes it there, the lightning will have already gone off. So there's actually twice as many safe tiles as it looks like at a glance. But again, you're going to have to practice this a lot, and definitely practice being on the last row, whether you're meleeing Wardens or just using range on the final row to get good practice in. Make sure you drink your adrenaline potion at the beginning of Enrage phase. You can get 2 or maybe even 3 Karis specs off during this fight. That is over 300 damage that you can heal on yourself. That's a lot. Just make sure your prayer stays topped up and you're not getting comboed out, aka don't take a hit off prayer and don't get hit by a boulder. If you're just taking a little bit of chip damage from the lightning, you should always have enough special attack and prayer to use a Karis spec and heal up. This run was recorded live over at twitch.tv/DVST_TV. You can see it on the screen right there. If you guys have any questions or you want to see me doing other high-level content, definitely stop over and hang out. The rest of this, I'm going to play out my live reaction. Now, I had my mic and webcam turned off to allow me to focus, but I'll give you my live commentary and live reaction to getting the 500. And you can see me just struggling on this last row here. The nerves were at an all-time peak, that's for sure. So enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Down in the description, I'm going to have links to a lot of very valuable resources, some YouTubers that I watched to give me the insight and information I needed to get my 500, as well as I'm going to have a link to my full post commentary, the full run of this 500, so you can see every second of it and analyze each room for yourself. With that, thank you guys so much for watching and enjoy this reaction.
Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, we fucking did it. 1 second. Holy shit. Enable preview. Where's my webcam? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I had 3 sips left. I kept my prayer up the whole time. I never got into chance range. I got to like 30 health twice, but that's when I Karist. That felt incredible. The last 24 health took so long. I just needed to hit it once or twice. And I kept telling myself, don't look back at the health. Don't look back at the health. Just focus. All right, guys, if I was ever going to get the shadow, you already fucking know it's right now. I'm putting on my full mage gear, except for the weapons, because we need space for the shadow. I'm going to put on all the hearts. I'm going to put on protect item. I'm putting on augury. I'm doing death. I don't know, dude. I'm doing everything. I'm spinning, and I'm goblin saluting, and I'm going in. Please be purple. It's purple. It's purple with the fang kit. Yes. Oh, my God. Okay. Whew. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but this is incredible. Oh, wait. Let me check the scoreboard. I gotta milk this. Oh, I'm so glad I'm streaming it. I didn't want to stream it, but I'm so glad I'm streaming it. 17,000 damage. That's pretty good. That's really solid. 17-minute wardens. Holy. Come on, guys. What are you saying? Is this the staff? Oh, the music stopped? No. Now's not the time for music to stop. 1 sec. All right. I'm kind of thinking it's the staff. Let me just lean up against it real quick. You already know. All right, here we go. Come on, guys. Escalators. Come on. Oh, another ward. I really believed. Fang Kit. The Fang Kit. Oh, yeah. Oh my god.